Karen didn't know that the bus driver she insulted was neutralizing terrorists in Afghanistan. Hey, Hidden Strength family! Let us know where you're watching from, and if this story surprises you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Sometimes the person you dismiss as just a jobber can be one of America's most elite warriors. This woman is just a school bus driver, shouted 34-year-old Karen Phillips to Rachel Cooper in front of Pine Valley Elementary. What do you know about child safety? I'm the PTA president. I'm the expert here. Rachel Cooper, 41 years old, sat quietly behind the wheel of the school bus. With her short brown hair, plain work uniform, and quiet demeanor, she looked like a typical school bus driver. Karen and the other parents saw her only as an ordinary worker who transports children. Other parents, standing behind Karen, Jennifer, and Lisa, also looked down on Rachel the same way. To them, Rachel was perceived as uneducated, simple-minded. These types of people really don't understand anything, Jennifer said. They only know how to turn a steering wheel. Rachel heard their words but didn't react. She just focused on the children's safety. No one knew that this ordinary school bus driver was actually a former member of the Navy SEALs, one of the U.S. Navy's most elite units. In Rachel's small house in Denver, no visible sign gave any clue about her former life. Simple furniture, children's books, a normal single woman's home, a typical school employee's living space. But at the very bottom of the bedroom closet, carefully hidden, was a box. Inside were traces of another world. Navy SEAL Trident badge, Distinguished Service Cross Medal, operation photos from Afghanistan and Iraq, and military training certificates. Petty Officer First Class Rachel Marie Cooper wasn't just a school bus driver. For 8 years, she had served in the Navy SEALs, conducted covert operations behind enemy lines, and served as a team leader in life-and-death situations as an elite soldier. Why was she now driving a school bus in Colorado? The answer lay in a painful memory Rachel had never shared with anyone. During her last mission in Afghanistan in 2019, Rachel's team was attacked by the Taliban. As a result of an IED explosion, she lost 3 friends. Rachel stayed behind enemy lines for 36 hours with 2 wounded soldiers and carried them to safety. The operation was technically successful, but not for Rachel. Losing her friends deeply affected her. PTSD symptoms began. Sleep disorders. Sudden panic attacks started. She left military service in 2020. She no longer wanted to be in war zones, but to work in peace with children. Offering them a safe future would be the most beautiful gift in memory of her lost friends. When she started working as a school bus driver at Pine Valley Elementary, she didn't say anything about her past. She just said she was a former soldier and didn't go into details. Every morning, Rachel would pick up children from their homes and safely take them to school. Their innocence, their laughter healed Rachel's soul. It was a very different mission from the battlefield, but equally important. However, some parents at Pine Valley saw Rachel only as a simple school employee. Especially Karen Phillips and the socialite mothers around her constantly criticized Rachel. "This woman doesn't understand child psychology," Karen would say. "We need more qualified people for our children's safety." "School bus drivers' education is very insufficient," Jennifer would add. "These types of people only know how to drive cars." When Rachel heard these comments, she would just smile and focus on her work. They didn't know that Rachel had received one of the world's most difficult military training and specialized in survival, leadership, and crisis management. Pine Valley Elementary principal Margaret Thompson saw Rachel as a reliable and responsible employee, but she also had no idea about Rachel's real past. "Rachel is quiet but a good driver," she would say. "The children love her." Karen Phillips, as PTA president, considered herself the school's security expert. She constantly made complaints to the school administration about Rachel. "This woman is not qualified enough," she would say. "Our children deserve better security measures." Karen's 8-year-old daughter Emma loved Rachel very much, but Karen didn't allow this. "Emma, don't talk to that woman too much. She's just a driver." Other children also loved Rachel. She was always calm, reliable, and protective. But parents didn't notice this. That Tuesday morning, Rachel was picking up children as usual. On the route were Emma Phillips, Tommy Chen, Sophia Rodriguez, and 12 other children. As they approached the school, Rachel noticed strange movements in a car on the road. A black sedan was circling around the school. Rachel's military training kicked in. She recognized the reconnaissance pattern. When they arrived at school, she reported the situation to the security guard. "There's a suspicious vehicle. It's circling around the school." The security guard didn't care. "Probably a parent or something. Don't worry." Rachel was uncomfortable but didn't insist. She safely delivered the children to school. As lunchtime approached, a normal day was passing at Pine Valley Elementary. Children were in classrooms, teachers were teaching, and Rachel was maintaining the bus. At 11:30, the guard monitoring the school security cameras experienced a major shock. 3 masked people had entered through the back door of the school. The alarm rang. "Lockdown! Lockdown! This is not a drill!" Teachers panicked and locked children in classrooms. Principal Thompson initiated emergency protocols and called the police. Rachel was by the bus in the garage when she heard the alarm. Her military instincts immediately kicked in. This wasn't just an alarm, it was a real threat. She ran toward the school building. In the back corridor, she saw 3 masked people searching for children. "Where are the children?" they were shouting. "Where is Emma Phillips?" Rachel understood. This was a kidnapping attempt. They were targeting Emma, daughter of Karen, whose father was a technology company CEO. The police hadn't arrived yet. Rachel had to act to protect the children. Rachel followed the masked people without being seen. Thanks to her Navy SEAL training, she could move silently. The men were looking for Emma's classroom. On the first-floor corridor, one of the men was trying to force open Emma's classroom door. Inside, Ms. Johnson and 20 children were waiting in fear. Rachel assessed her position. 3 men, probably armed, targeting children. There were 10-15 minutes until police arrived. Her military training kicked in. She had to neutralize the closest man first. Rachel quietly approached from the end of the corridor. With Navy SEAL hand-to-hand combat training, she controlled the first man from behind. The man fainted before he could make a sound. When the second man noticed his friend's absence, he saw Rachel. "Who are you?" "School employee," Rachel said calmly. "Don't hurt the children." The man laughed. "Are you just a janitor or something? Get out of our way." Rachel turned the man's underestimation to her advantage. "Please, I'm just—" When the man approached, Rachel suddenly sprang into action. With disarm technique, she took the man's weapon and neutralized him too. The third man, at the other end of the corridor, noticed the situation. He started shouting into his radio. "There's resistance inside! Need help!" Rachel realized this was a bigger operation. There could be more people outside. The third man pointed his gun at Rachel. "You're a very brave janitor." Rachel used the fire extinguisher in the corridor as cover. When the man fired, Rachel moved tactically to the man's side. With combat training, she disarmed the man and took control. All 3 men had been neutralized. Rachel checked the security of the classrooms where children were located. Police sirens could be heard. They would arrive in 5 minutes. Rachel informed the police via radio. Pine Valley Elementary, secure. 3 suspects neutralized. Children are safe. When police arrived, Rachel calmly explained the situation. 3 people entered the school. They were targeting Emma Phillips. I stopped all of them. Police Chief John Martinez was surprised. "How did you neutralize 3 armed people by yourself?" "I'm a former soldier. I had training." "Which unit?" Rachel hesitated. "Navy SEAL." The police chief's mouth fell open. When Karen Phillips hugged her daughter Emma, she was crying. "Rachel, you saved Emma." "I just did my job," Rachel said. "The children are safe. That's what matters." Karen looked with remorse. "I always belittled you. I'm sorry." "It doesn't matter. What matters is the children's safety." Principal Thompson approached Rachel. "Rachel, were you really a Navy SEAL?" "Yes, but now I'm just a school bus driver, and I love this job." The news was reflected in the media. School bus driver saves children with Navy SEAL past. Rachel remained modest in interviews. "I just tried to protect the children. Every parent would do the same." "But you were someone with special training." Training was important, but what really mattered was love for children. The parents at Pine Valley Elementary completely changed their attitude toward Rachel. They now saw her not just as a driver, but as their children's hero. Karen Phillips approached Rachel. "How can I thank you?" "By taking good care of Emma. She's a wonderful child. You're like part of our family now." Rachel smiled. "I'm just doing my job, protecting children." Jennifer and Lisa apologized to Rachel. "We misjudged you so much. We all make mistakes. What's important is learning. The school administration offered Rachel a security coordinator position. We need your expertise, Rachel thought. I want to continue being a school bus driver, but I can consult on security matters. Why do you want to continue driving? Because I interact with children every day. I can provide their safety firsthand. Rachel strengthened her relationship with the children. She was no longer just providing transportation, but also giving security and self-confidence lessons. Fear is a normal emotion, she would tell the children, but courage is doing the right thing despite fear. Emma Phillips became very attached to Rachel. Aunt Rachel, can I be strong like you? You're already strong, Emma. You just need to realize it. Pine Valley Elementary updated its security protocols based on Rachel's suggestions. More comprehensive alarm systems, teacher training, and emergency plans were implemented. Rachel worked as a consultant in this process, but didn't give up her main job as school bus driver. These children are my responsibility, she would say. I want to take them home safely every day. Local media became interested in Rachel's story. However, Rachel wasn't chasing fame. I'm not a hero. I'm just someone who protects children. Thousands of teachers and school employees in this country do the same. Rachel's humility made her even more beloved. A year later, Pine Valley Elementary held a special ceremony for Rachel. They gave her the Courage and Service Award. Karen Phillips was the speaker at the ceremony. Rachel Cooper taught us that real strength is serving quietly. She didn't just save lives, she changed our perspective. Rachel spoke modestly when receiving the award. This award isn't just mine. It belongs to all school personnel working for children's safety. After the ceremony, children surrounded Rachel. Tommy Chen asked, Aunt Rachel, are you a real superhero? Rachel laughed. No, Tommy. I'm just someone who loves you very much. And sometimes, love is the greatest superpower. The box in Rachel's bedroom was no longer hidden. She kept her Navy SEAL badge openly with other medals. But beside them were new things. Thank you letters from children, pictures Emma drew, handmade gifts Tommy made. The past brought me to where I am today, she would say. But the future is being shaped by these children's hands. 5 years later, Rachel was still a school bus driver at Pine Valley Elementary. She was now the most loved and trusted person by children and parents. Emma Phillips, now 13, still called Rachel my hero. Thanks to Aunt Rachel, I learned to be strong. Karen Phillips now saw Rachel as part of her family. Rachel didn't just save children, she saved us too, from our prejudices. Rachel Cooper proudly wore her Navy SEAL badge, but what she was really proud of was the smiling expressions on children's faces every morning. I saw many things on battlefields, she would say, but children's innocence and love is the most beautiful victory. Since that Tuesday morning, Pine Valley Elementary had not experienced any security problems. Rachel's presence alone deterred potential threats. But most importantly, Rachel now protected not just children, but society's perspective. She had taught not to judge people by their appearance, that everyone could have hidden strengths, how important respect was. Real strength, Rachel would say, is not feeling the need to prove yourself. Real strength only emerges when necessary. And the children at Pine Valley Elementary grew up every day under the protection of this strong woman. For them, Rachel wasn't just a school bus driver. She was a figure representing security, love, and courage. Rachel's story showed how powerful people who are looked down upon can actually be. This silent hero had changed not just a school, but a community by protecting children. Have you ever underestimated someone because of their job, only to discover their incredible background later? Rachel's story reminds us that heroes walk among us every day, often in the most ordinary roles, carrying extraordinary experiences in silence. If this story inspired you to show more respect to the people who serve our communities, share it with someone who needs this reminder. Where are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments below.